My name is Salami, and I founded a company called Riby. Essentially, we provide digital banking as a service for cooperatives. So you're familiar with the savings groups. So a couple of friends or people in the same company come together to save as a group and borrow themselves money. Ajo, Esusu, as we know them in Yoruba. They're registered across the states, all across the country, and in several other countries like Kenya and South Africa, where they are called SACCOs or stock bells. What we do is that we provide a banking platform for them to do all of what they already do every day. But more importantly, we connect them to access to additional funding for their groups. Actually, we're a collaborator with them. So right now we partner with at least 4 banks, and in a bank, you can open an account for your cooperative, but you're unable to add your members to that cooperative in terms of transacting with them. So what we've done is we've partnered with the banks to make sure that all your money is safely kept in the banks, but the transactional ability between yourselves and your members is done on the Riby platform, powered by the bank, payment companies, and other partners that we have. To give you a clear picture of that, Riby is a vision that aims to help people go from I'm earning an income or I'm not even earning any income at all to now I'm earning stable income, I'm saving consistently a portion of that income, and I'm investing a significant portion of my savings over time throughout life. So that mission started for us, for me, in December of 2012. But we launched the company in 2016, May of 2016, with a clear vision to focus on cooperatives because we found them as a structured engine for both gainful employment as well as financial services. So we've been fully operational now for about 2 years, and we're where we are now. Number one challenge for us was a very young market. Young in terms of what we are offering. So whilst there are easily 20 million people that are part of cooperatives in Nigeria, nobody has ever really offered technology to them at scale. If you're going into, say, payment or lending, these are businesses that are already attracting tens of millions of dollars in size. So the number one challenge for us was actually getting to that point where we were able to attract the kind of attention we needed in creating a business that can easily scale to meet both customer demand and generate significant revenue. So we had to break that. That took us about 18 months to break to get to the point where investors knew that there was a real business here. Partners, banks know that there's a significant opportunity to work with us to design, to work in our, be a partner in our solution to serve the customer. Now we have banks write to us literally every other week compared to where we were chasing banks for 9 months before one listened. That literally bringing out the juice from the rock. That this is a rock, and it's not an ordinary rock, it's a rock with juice, was the first major challenge. And the second is in finding solid technical talent. And as much as everybody tries to think they're a developer, it's not enough to say I'm a developer. So what can you build? What have you built in the last 6 months? And thankfully we found a few of my partners are technical people, and we've been able to get really exciting team members to join our team. But we can't find enough. We can't even meet all of the demands we're getting right now. We literally have to stop selling because we can't keep building, especially on the enterprise side. So yes, those two things have been significantly a big problem. The first one is related more to access to capital, access to partners, and ability to quickly unlock the market. And the second is related to access to talent. Those are the two big problems that we faced initially, but which we have thankfully surmounted to a significant extent. I can tell you that we're trading at over $500,000 in terms of the total amount of capital that we've deployed, revenue that we've made, and things that we've done in the business. For us, there's a clear mission. There are potentially 10 million customers that need our service within the next 3 years. And our goal is to raise enough capital to serve them and to be able to generate between $2 and $5 per user in annual revenue per year. That puts us at the place where we are easily a $50 million revenue business. It's going to be a lot of work, but we think by the time we start approaching these numbers, you can imagine the amount of capital we'll need to deploy to be able to get to those numbers. So yeah, that's our goal, to get to that size in terms of the number of people we're able to serve, number of our users that we're able to help get access to capital and save better. Once we're able to do that, then we think we can unlock the amount of capital that we will need. More than half of our customers actually don't access our platform via the internet. They access our platform via an agent. So agency banking and digital banking via channels like USSD and even things like tag to pay or RFID tags will be significant channels for us to drive those type of engagements. And we expect that will actually be more than 50 to 70% of our transaction volumes. We're actually quite optimistic about some of the things we're trying to do in that space that most people have probably never tried before. So far, the number one channel is via the agents, via an agent network. There are quite a number of agent networks that we work with, both ours and those of our partners. Number two channel we see today will be via USSD. And then number three will be via web and mobile. If you think about the agent as anything or anybody that can help you conduct an activity, then you understand that a POS is an agent. An human being pressing a mobile phone for you is an agent, and so on and so forth. So agents, USSD, and then mobile devices. I would only mention maybe three things. Number one is, for me, I wasn't just trying to start a business. Actually, I wasn't really trying to start a business at all. I was trying to solve a problem. In fact, even Riby as an attempt was trying to solve a problem that I had, which is a problem around how do you get rich collecting a salary in a month without a system that forces you to not just keep money aside but invest that money or use it in form of some business. And that's why Riby came about. So my first advice would be, what real need, what real value are you trying to deliver as an entrepreneur? And what type of business are you trying to build with that value? Is it a subsistence business where you just want to be okay? Is it a business for a few people where a few people can get value? Or are you trying to build a potentially global business? You have to be sure, and not any of it is fine. It's all a personal desire. Once you're clear on what value you're trying to create and what type of business you're trying to do, then you need to learn all the things you can learn around how to achieve those two things. If you're not clear on those two things, you would not get it. One of my friends told me a while back, he said, are you trying to create a tech startup, an high-growth tech startup, and that what you're doing would not scale, would not produce that result? So you need to know what you're trying to do, and you need to know how to do it. That's number one. My second advice is around who you bring on. That relates to everybody. Partners, co-founders, employees, investors, advisors. Everybody is important to the business. Be careful to bring only the right people. Be sure that there are proper agreements in place for everybody. Everybody. It's a business. It's not a hobby. If it's a hobby, that's fine, right? But if it's a business, it's a business, and you are not the business. The business is itself, it's a breathing entity that you are in charge of. So everything that guides a business is legal. You must have legal agreements for everything. And the legal agreement doesn't have to be complex. It can be simple, benign, friendly. Just make sure that it's there and it guides all the relationships. And make sure they are friendly relationships. They are relationships that you can go through as often as you want. Even though the VC might seem like your friend, they might actually be your friends and they might actually be very nice to you. But remember that they are a business and they are not necessarily just your friends. So be careful to make sure that everything is properly guided. And number three, be careful to not give away too much equity in the very early stages. Bootstrap what you can bootstrap, sweat out what you can sweat out, consult, work, do a bus conductor in the morning and code in the night. If you have to, drive keke napep and make some money. And be sure that when you are running the business, in the very early stage, you don't give away too much equity or just throw equity around if you're trying to build a high-growth business that has a long-term growth span. And most importantly, it's not going to be easy. If you think it's going to be easy, if you have had any impression ever before that it's going to be easy, every time you've heard that it's easy, it's a lie. Well, I'm not going to advise anybody to stay back or to build the country. What I'm going to advise, or what I can say, is to be true to yourself. If you love Nigeria and you want to solve the problems, there are several examples how you can see that it is possible. It is not possible at scale now. I'm not going to deceive anybody that it's possible at scale. We have not created enough opportunities for people to grow businesses. It's getting better very fast. Use the opportunities you have really well. But in terms of solving real problems, once you figure it out, once the grace of God is there for you, you have the right people supporting you, you reach out to the right people, you build good relationships, there is solution. When you cross a particular bridge, then you will know that money is not the problem. Execution is the problem. We worry about the wrong things. Solving the problem of Nigeria is very possible, but we're 90% off track right now. So if you haven't figured it out, you can go figure it out somewhere else, outside the country. I'm not signed up to the school of thought of keeping people in Nigeria. But if you figured it out, don't lose out. Trust me, I know, I have seen it. If you want to raise 5 billion naira in Nigeria today, you can do it in 3 to 6 months. But the question you ask yourself is, why should anybody care to give you that hard-earned money, even if they printed it in the mint? Why? As you answer that question, why, everything else falls in line. In terms of policy, the government of the day is trying. I've benefited. I've gotten a grant from the World Bank, from the FMITI, supported by GEM World Bank. Not a lot of money, but very useful amount of money. Whilst I know that the government is trying their best, trust me, it's next to nothing, because the government cannot even do it alone. I think the government should create examples. I think the government should find compelling success stories. I think they should put a lot more skin in the game. 10,000 naira, 50,000 naira, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million naira would not create the kind of impact that we're looking to create in this country. So it needs to be bold, it needs to be big, it needs to be loud, it needs to be real. Then we can say we can create a policy and an enabling environment. So far so good. To me, in Yoruba they say "Okudi Ekato," if I got that right. Like, extremely shy of where we need to be, but good progress so far. Hi, my name is Salami. I'm the founder of Riby. This is Guardian TV. Keep watching Guardian TV.